Yes, guys, hello and welcome back to the Spurs-related YouTube channel and podcast. I hope everyone is doing very well. Today, we have a big match preview for the game tomorrow at the Amex Stadium in Brighton against Brighton and Hove Albion. It's going to be a tough place to go to, especially after what happened last year when Spurs absolutely capitulated after half-time. They were 2-0 up and lost that match 3-2, and it did very much feel like a sort of change in the Ange Postecoglou era, if we remind ourselves. But we have a lot to get through. We have the pre-match press conference from Thomas Frank. We also have some predicted lineups to get through, as well as some predictions with you guys watching along live. I know you guys are enjoying the content. Please do the usual for me and make sure you are smashing the like button, smashing the subscribe button, and of course, turning on the notification bell if you are new to the channel. But Thomas Frank's AI son, Frank Thomas. Frank, how are you doing this afternoon, mate?
I was doing well until about 20 minutes ago, where everything I've tried to do has somehow gone wrong. But no, I'm okay. I'm happy to be here. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully we get a good result after what was a good one on Tuesday night.
Listen, mate, I'd rather it all went wrong now than tomorrow afternoon at 5:30. That's for sure. But listen, hopefully this time tomorrow we will be discussing a Tottenham win. I have my thoughts on the game. I think this might be our biggest test yet. But we'll get into things, guys. Whack yourselves in the comments if you are joining. I'm sure the numbers will start to grow throughout. And we've got Peter Agger in here saying, I think it'll be a difficult one tomorrow, lads. But I would like to see Xavi in the 10. Absolutely. He needs to be not wasted on that left-hand side for me. I'd personally give Odebear a little run. Stu's in here as always. Of course he is. He's saying, yes, boys. And James, great name. He's in here as well saying, evening, lads. Guys, put your comments in. Put your thoughts in for the game. I'll get your score predictions in a little while. But let's get straight into the show, Frank. Let's get the guys, our great followers, updated on the talking points from the pre-match press conference. We've also got Spotlight on Spurs here. Big up, mate. Nice stream last night. I saw you had some good numbers, man. I saw you had some good guests as well. So keep it up. Keep going. We'll have to get you on the channel as well. But Thomas Frank on Romero saying it feels like a bit of a love affair between Thomas Frank and Christian Romero at the moment. I mean, I'm all for it, but like they both just keep bigging each other up. I kind of enjoying the quotes. I rate him super high. He is one of the best centre-backs right now in the world, says Thomas Frank. Guys, do you agree with that one? Do you think Christian Romero is one of the best centre-backs in the world at the moment? Tony Anthony saying, well, I've just said Anthony. It's just Tony Ant. It might be Anthony. But anyway, Tony, he's saying it will be a tough one, but I'm going to go for a 2-1. I guess you mean for Spurs. 1-2 to the lads. Good stuff. And yeah, we'll sort something out, mate. We will sort something out. Frank, what do you make on this one? Do you? I mean, not much to analyse other than the fact that Thomas Frank is, of course, bigging up his captain. But let's be honest, like at the moment, Christian Romero probably is one of the best centre backs in the world. Is that fair to say, guys? Put a little 1 in the chat if you agree with Thomas Frank here. Put a 2 if you don't. Frank, are you going 1 here?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, do you remember the stories when Ange lost his job and that he was going to lead a revolt and that he was going to storm out and he was never going to play for us ever again? And it's funny how, 4 months later or 3 months later, this is the position we're in. Yeah. But he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. And I think people are going to work it out this year how brilliant he is. I think those who are neutrals and maybe don't watch him as much and sit there and go, well, he's really aggressive and he just gets red cards and all that nonsense will go. Because the guy is unbelievable. The guy he just oozes class. He's technically superb. He's a brilliant passer. This is on top of him being an unbelievable defender, by the way. But he has everything else: the intelligence, the general intelligence of being a player. His passing superb. He's a threat going forward as well. The breaking down teams is something that he's brilliant at from the back. So all in all, I mean, on top of what is such a fantastic defender and physically so imposing, he's just an immense footballer, to be honest. And then that's kind of all there is to say, I think.
Absolutely, mate. I completely agree. And Pete's also saying the pairing of Van der Ven and Romero is one of the best in world football. We're talking about, is it one of the best in the, well, I mean, Thomas Frank saying himself, one of the best in the world. Peter certainly agrees with the fact that actually Van de Ven and Romero is a fantastic partnership, one of the best in world football. And Dirty Sanchez, home win. Don't like that. Don't like that attitude. Don't like that attitude, my friend. But maybe you think Spurs are at home. Hopefully you got a mistake there. But Thomas Frank on Lucas Bergvall. Now, how good has this guy been? He's saying he's going from strength to strength, and that extra confidence is starting to show. And I feel like that is true. Like every time Bergvall plays, he just seems more and more confident. And those two man of the match performances against both West Ham in the Premier League and against Villarreal in the Champions League will do that confidence even more good, right, Frank?
Yeah, exactly. As I say, he's another one, a bit like Romero, that it feels like there's not a lot to say because you can't really criticize him, I don't think. I think the most impressive thing is that he's physically building as well. I mean, I not to comment too much on it, but whatever. But I saw the photos from the other day of when he's holding his man of the match awards and things, and he has bulked up so much in a year. And so the physical side of it, which maybe people thought maybe he won't adapt to the physical side of the Premier League that quickly, that's who cares? That's been and gone. Fine. He maybe needs to just, as we say, like he did the other day, chime in with maybe 8-10 goals a season. That's the sort of player I think he is, and so I think he will naturally. But I think he's going to cement himself as, again, one of the better midfielders in the Premier League in the next year or so. I think he's that good, and I think this is a year where people are going to figure out a lot of Spurs players are much better than they thought from outside of the club. A lot of the Pape Sarrs and Bergvalls and Romeros and Jed Spence, all these guys, because they're playing in a system where Thomas Frank wants to get the most out of them and he wants to utilise them in the best way possible. And whereas last year that wasn't the case, it was the complete opposite about we were playing this way, whether it suited you or not. It hung a lot of players up to dry. And now that we're playing this way that has an emphasis on making players better and the best versions of themselves as players, I think we're going to have a lot of players this year that are going to come out, and people at the end of the season. I mean, I saw Ali McCoy was raving about Pape Sarr the other day. That there are going to be a lot of people in the media and a lot of these sort of high up guys with influence that are going to start turning around and going, actually, Romero's brilliant, or actually Pape Sarr's brilliant, or Bergvall's superb. And I think that noise will grow throughout this year if we sort of continue on this track.
Yeah, I feel like I completely agree with you. I feel like it feels like a bit of a breakthrough season for Bergvall, for Sarr. But also, like you said, with Romero, like he doesn't ever really, other than from Spurs fans, get put into that maybe world-class category. And now, because we've started to with a great run of games, and hopefully we continue, Van de Ven and Romero are starting to get said to be one of the best centre-back partnerships in the league, maybe in the world if you want to stretch it that far. And, Bergvall, we know how good of a season he had. Was last season, wasn't he? He was probably our player of the season in a what was a terrible, terrible season for Tottenham. However, now, because Tottenham are doing well, people now just don't go, oh, Tottenham are doing rubbish, they're 17th. They're going, actually, Tottenham are doing some bits here. Pape Matar on fire. Lucas Bergvall's on fire. Kudus is doing pretty well. And so these players then start to get talked about more. And it's very, very good to see from our perspective. Guys, I can see the numbers are growing. Of course, we're only 8 minutes in, but I can see there's 70 of you watching across Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. That's actually just gone to 75. If you are on Twitter and Facebook, please do come over to our YouTube because we have all of the chats with the guys in the chat here that I bring up on screen and I create talking points from. And you can subscribe. And if, guys, you are watching on YouTube right now and you're not subscribed, down below, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bells if you are new. I only plug it 3 times an episode, but it helps us massively. And I believe we are still 2 subscribers off 4.4K on the way to 5K, and really appreciate all your support. So, guys, please do help us out. And if you can financially, there is a membership option. The memberships mean that you guys can come on the channel if you want to come on this very channel and have a word with us. And also, you get priority in the chat. So we bring up your comments first. It's $2.99 a month. And there's a super chat option if you want to skip the queue, because the chat is already going pretty quickly, despite there only being sort of 40 of you on YouTube. But C-Max is saying our midfield is so hard to pick. I agree. It's a good problem to have, right, mate? It's a good problem to have. James is 100% agreeing. I think that was with what you were saying there, Frank. I have Bergvall on the back of my shirt. I got it in the beginning of last season. A true star in the making. He will be better than Odegaard this season already. absolutely would be interesting to see, mate. It's a bit concerning about us having 4 strikers, especially 2 we bought this season and 1 we bought for 60 million. I wonder if some of them will end up playing on the left, primarily Richie and Tell. Possibly. And you could even say Colin Moani might get trialed on the left-hand side as well, potentially, at some point. CDFC, big up San Diego FC, saying, can't stand these seagulls. Yeah, we need to stop them squawking, mate. Average Mirage fan is saying, I bought a Bergvall shirt the moment we signed him. Love it, mate. Ghost is in here. Big up, mate. Big up. Smash those likes, as James said. Guys, it's free to do so. Smash the like button. Spurs diehards, good evening. Good evening. It's not quite evening yet. Good afternoon, James, Frank, et al. Big up yourself, Adrian. I believe this will be. And big up, guys. Just joined this stream. My predicted lineup is Vigario, Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, Udoji, Bentancur, and Paulinho, Bergvall, Kudus, Simmons, and Kolo Muani. Prediction, I'll go for 2-0. We'll get into our predicted lineups, but I absolutely love it, mate. And guys, put in your lineup if you want. That's a good one to discuss as well. We are going to get into a few more quotes, and then we will come on to the lineups. So the next one from Thomas Frank was on Solanke, and that he is progressing forward slowly, but forward. That's, I guess, positive in a way. That is just a segment of a longer, of course, interview. What do you make of this, Frank and Solanke? Is it a bit more of a concern than we should maybe think?
Yeah, I mean, possibly. That there's this bit as well that basically he's not been ready for Brighton or Doncaster again. Not that he would have played against Doncaster, I don't think, but it would have been nice maybe if he was getting back to give him 15 minutes just to run around and get a little bit of fitness back. It's a concern because, like we're talking about, he came on against Burnley and he came on, I think, against City, and that's all we've seen of him this season. And the next time he will play will probably be, you'd like to think, hopefully October. I mean, maybe he might get a run out back into September, but we're pushing it, right? So yeah, it's a concern because I think he is quality-wise the best of the strikers we have, and he's still going to obviously be a long way from full fitness, and that in itself is a big concern for me.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely, it is a concern, guys. What do you think on this Solanke situation? Do you think he may be out for a few more weeks? Do you think he'll be back very soon, as we've just discussed there? I mean, like out for the Brighton match, out for the Doncaster match. What's after that? Wolves. I mean, is he going to be back for the Wolves game? Who knows? I mean, the thing is, there will be slight concerns about the amount of goals we've scored in open play, despite only conceding 1 goal. Against Villarreal, there was a bit of creativity, maybe concerns for some people. The fact that we obviously only won the game through a fluky own goal. By the way, guys, I've got to say, I called that keeper. He was absolutely shocking, didn't I? I said he was a bit... I think we should test him. I mean, he got tested in 3 minutes. But Tony Ant saying, what injury does Solanke have? It's to do with his... Frank, correct me if I'm wrong. He's to do with his Achilles, isn't it?
Yeah, it's his ankle area, foot area, ankle. Yeah, that sort of part of the body. But they're so secretive and quiet about everything that ever goes on that no one's actually ever got a clue. So I think it's something to do with his ankle. But we'll never know because that's how Spurs roll, sadly.
Brilliant. There you go. Spurs, exactly that. Ankle injury. And Spurs diehard saying, will Moani play 90 minutes before we see Solanke? I mean, it's probably quite a close run in that one, actually. Average Mirage fans gone for it. He's gone. Vicario, Porro, Van der Ven, Romero, Destiny is going to get the call up. Gray and Bergvall, Paulinho, Kudus, Xavi, and Randall Kolo Muani. I'm not so sure that we're going to see Gray tomorrow, and I'm not so sure we're going to see... I could see Destiny Udoji coming in on the left-hand side, giving Spence a rest, because he has played a lot of minutes. But anyway, guys, we've got a predicted lineup coming up in just a minute, so hold fire on the lineups for now. I know I said everyone put it in, but we'll sort that out in a minute. So Thomas Frank on Kota Sakai. He is very close to training with the group. I'm pretty sure he'll train with the group on Monday. Just quickly on this one, Frank, because I mean, actually, centre-backs wise, we're actually all right at the moment. Touch wood that Romero and Van der Ven keep fit. Kota Sakai was a weird one, of course, because we signed the player thinking he would be absolutely fine. What do you make of this one?
Yeah, it's a shame. I kind of wanted to see him play against Doncaster next week, but he's obviously not going to be fit enough to do so, which is a shame. That was sort of the one a month ago when we got drawn against them that I was kind of looking at thinking I hope that's the one. Listen, it's good that he's going to be back, but I don't see him really having a major impact on this team this season, to be honest. That's not in any disrespect, but we're talking about a guy that has not even really been training over here yet. So maybe it's giving him some time to bed in, culturally, and that's good. But I think the football side of things and the adaptation period that probably is needed for the football is still a little bit of a way off, or will be a long way off. And we've going into a tough point of the season where we're going to have a lot of games, and I don't think that he'll be called on personally. I think Doncaster would have been perfect, but yeah, sadly, he's not back in time for that. But good news overall.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, we'll keep our eye on Kota Sakai, and like you said, it would have been good to see him against Doncaster, but unfortunately, it won't be happening. Guys, that's pretty much the summary of the press conference from Thomas Frank. We picked out the key quotes for you there. Hopefully, you found that useful. We are going to go on to the predicted lineups section now, and we are going to go on to talking about hopefully what we think is going to be the team. Guys, let us know if you don't agree with some of this, and make sure, of course, you are smashing the like button, you are smashing the subscribe button down below. It's super important, guys. It does help us out massively, and we do appreciate all the support. Turn on the notification bells as well, because we're going to go live probably after the game again tomorrow to do an instant match reaction. So if you guys want to see that, make sure you turn on the notification bells and come and join us and have your say as well. Some of you guys can probably come on the show if you want as well. So we'll do that as well. Frank, you're going to share what you think will be roughly the lineup for tomorrow afternoon at the Amex. So we'll get into that now. I'm going to add. Oh, I think
there's two up there. 1 second. I'll get this one up first, which is.
Sure. 1 second, guys. There we go.
This is what FootMob have got them down as, the two teams. I think it'll be slightly different, which I'll come into in a minute. But this is their guess for the two. I mean, I think they're both probably. If you're an outsider, that's probably the most obvious Spurs team they'll play. I don't think that'll be the case, but I don't think there's much wrong with it. In terms of Brighton, I think there's weaknesses in that team. I think there's players that concern me. That Mitoma concerns me. Mitoma concerns me massively. Ruta concerns me. Brojan Gruda is brilliant. Yankuba Minte is very good. I like him a lot as well. I quite like Ayari, but then I look certainly at Veltman, Dunk, Milner. Van Heck's very good, but I look at those three as sort of a triangle. It's aging. You can get it, and I think with enough energy, which Spurs have an abundance of at the moment, I think that could be sort of a weakness point for Brighton. In terms of us, I mean, I guess if you look at that part of their team, then starting Asar or Bergvall would make sense. I don't think either of them start. Just a hunch, but I can see why they would, given the sort of the opposition. Kadioglu, a bit like Juve last week, loves to get forward, plays silly high, which I think will be obviously a good thing for Kudus, because there'll be space. But yeah, other than that, I mean, as I say, their front four concern me. They do concern me. Matoma's unbelievable. Minte's fantastic. I really like Yankuba Minte, and Ruta and Gruda are brilliant as well. So that concerns me, but they're without Matt O'Reilly, without Matt Weaver. They're certainly missing players, so we can get at them, I think, tomorrow, and hopefully we do.
I'm hoping here that Sarr and Benteke and Palhinha will get the better of Ayari and Milner in midfield. Yeah, and I guess you could put Gruda as part of that as well. Gruda has started the season exceptionally well for Brighton. He's honestly been really, really good for them. And like you said at the start, he's a really, really good player. So I think we should be wary of him. The two I also wanted to highlight, Frank, was Mitoma and, as you said, Minte. Now, my concern about Mitoma is if Porro starts, and Alan's asking, will there be no rest for Porro? Not sure, but if it's Mitoma against Porro, I honestly am calling that as the problem in us conceding tomorrow, because Mitoma is such a dangerous player. One-on-one, very, very good. Porro, one-on-one defensively, not very good. For me, this is where this could potentially be our downfall. If Mitoma gets some joy against Porro, whips a ball into Ruta maybe, or Gruda, or pulls it back for someone on the edge of the box, that could be honestly our downfall tomorrow if I'm identifying anything. I'm hoping Spence is going to be pretty good against Minte, but then again, potentially you'll have Udogie instead of Spence. And I know we're going to look at another lineup in a minute as well. I don't like the fact that Simmons will play on the left potentially. I would much rather he played at the 10. But I don't know. I really think it's going to be a close game tomorrow. I don't think anyone's going to be winning 2 or 3-0 here. I think it's going to be 2-1 either way. We'll get into the score predictions in a minute. I'm going to catch up on the chat, Frank, if you don't mind. And big up Blaine, one of our members, of course, very, very much a top community member. Big up, lads. Happy Friday, chat. Happy Friday to you as well, Blaine. And C-Max is saying, I would go for a 5-2-3 formation because they're good at attacking. Well, what do you think of that one, Frank? And big up, Alan. Evening, chaps. Before I get your thoughts on the 5-2-3, actually, Frank, I'm just going to go for the other comments. Udogie is better for this match since he's better to exploit Veltman by going wide, whereas Spence would cut in towards Van Heck. That's a really, really interesting point, actually. If you have Spence down the left, it's so obvious he keeps going in the right. You analysed this the other day in your tactics analysis. That is a good point. But with the 5-2-3 formation, Frank, what do you make of this, mate? Is that an option? And if it is an option, you then lose a midfielder because you either have to play Bentancur and Paulinho and drop Sarr, or you have to drop Bentancur or Paulinho and play Sarr or Bergvall and Paulinho or Bentancur, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes both ways. What I don't think they have is I don't think they have a focal point of a striker. As in, I like Ruta. I think Ruta's great, but Ruta is almost a 9.5, right? He's a 9, but also a 10. He's not an out and out. He's not an Erling Haaland.
That's how João Pedro was, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not a weakness, but I just think he's brilliant at that, and I think he's a great player. But he's not a Erling Haaland, Alexander Isak. You know, one of these guys that stands and is a real handful up there. He drops in, and Gruder's obviously the same. So the wingers are a threat. I think if you have 5, then you give cover to the wing backs. So I think that makes sense. But on the flip side, I think you can get at Brighton. I think they are defensively, they're all right. Van Heck is very good, and Kadioglu is pretty good as well. Duncan Veltman, I'm a little bit less sort of believing in. I imagine they'll probably in games sort of switch to a 3 at the back. So then you can go sort of man for man on them 3v3, and I think there'll be joy for Spurs attacking them tomorrow. So I think a 4 probably makes the most sense, but I can understand the argument of playing a 5.
Sure, and let's not forget actually that, like you said, they're a bit meh defensively, but Brighton actually haven't started the season very well at all. They're actually currently sitting in 13th place. Yes, it's early days, but they played 4, 1-1, drawn 1, and lost 2, and they've actually got a -2 goal difference. They've scored 4 and conceded 6, whereas we've scored 8 and conceded 1. So that is very much a positive. I don't think Brighton are in form. However, let's not forget that they did beat City in match week 2, I think it was. So listen, we beat City as well. They beat City. They just lost to Bournemouth the other week 2-1. And then they smashed Oxford United in the Cup 6-0. And they lost to Everton 2-0 on the opening. Was that the opening weekend or the second weekend? That was the second weekend. They drew 1-1 with Fulham on the first weekend. So there is a bit of concern for how Brighton are performing. But is that, like I said, is that a concern? Because, they're wanting to get a much needed win.
Yeah, I think context is important a little bit as well. In that the Fulham game, I think they conceded in like the 98th minute and they drew 1-1. And so they were seconds away from winning that. And I know they didn't, but they then played Everton away, and it was their first game in the new stadium. So that was obviously a tough place to go that day, and it was upbeat, and everyone's excited. And rarely teams, I imagine, lose the first game in their new ground. Bournemouth away is just a very tough place to go. We obviously lost to Bournemouth at home as well, and they're brilliant. And then City, we've both beaten. So sort of contextually, they haven't had an awful start. They've maybe been a bit unlucky with the fixture run they've actually had. And they've been a bit unlucky in certain games at certain points. When they lost to Bournemouth the other day, they lost to a penalty. As I say, they lost 2-1 to the penalty. They lost to Everton, who was the opening of their new ground, and they drew with Fulham in the 98th minute. I mean, contextually, that's quite a tough start. So, all in all, I think they're going to be tough. I think we could have enough to beat them. I think it could be a game like the West Ham one the other day, where if we get going and we get firing, we could score 2 or 3. Whether or not I think we will, I don't know, but I think we certainly could, because I think defensively you can get at them. But going forward, I think they offer more than West Ham because they have more avenues to hurt you than West Ham do, other than just Bowen and Paqueta. I think they've got all four of that front four concern me in one way or another.
Sure, absolutely, mate. It's going to be an interesting game. It's weird when it's a 3 o'clock kickoff, right? Because you'd think this one would be normally on telly, but anyway, it is what it is. But I'm going to catch up on chat, and then Frank, while I'm doing that, we're going to share another lineup, aren't we? So I'll leave you to do that. But Blaine's in here saying, I see us maybe starting as we did versus West Ham and then pivoting to a back five if we sit on a lead. I could also see that. For sure, mate. We played it perfectly against West Ham. Yes, the red card did help us, of course, but it's worth considering. And Thomas Frank's tactics are so fluid. Like the way he can change up in a game is so useful. We really didn't have that sort of asset with Ange Postecoglou. Alan saying tell Richie Kudus, Saar Benzica, Palinha, Udoji, Van der Ven, Ramirez, Spence, and Vicario for me. Absolutely. Tell on the left, maybe. Let's see. In the Prem, Brighton away ain't a happy hunting ground for us. 4 losses, 1 draw, and 3 wins in the Prem era. That is shocking. That is not a good record, mate. I think I've actually been to most of those 3 wins because I went to Brighton away, I think 2 or 3 times. And one of them was when Harry Kane booted that Coke bottle. Yeah. Do you remember?
Yeah.
He nearly soaked me. I was right at the front. That was iconic. And then I think we won a couple other ones. But yeah, it's always a bit of an unpredictable.
I remember us beating them 1-0 as I had tickets and then I ended up missing it and I couldn't go. We won 1-0 away there. It was the week when Gianpiero Ventroni died.
Oh yeah, I was
when
there
Conte
as well.
was in charge, that one, and Kane scored that day. I remember some bad results there as well. I remember us drawing with Lamella scoring. I think I remember us losing when that Aaron Connolly scored twice and we lost 3-0. That was, and then no one ever heard of him ever again.
Don't even know where he is now. Anyway, good points all round. Yeah, Blaine, we should get up the head-to-head record. It's not good. I'd say it depends on Thomas Frank wanting to be defensive or not, because with Danzo, we're incredibly solid. But if we lose a defender during the match, we only have Davies and Gray. Good point. I'm a bit worried about our defensive depth, to be fair. Mirage, I think it'll be... yeah, we've read that lineup with the subs of plenty when the legs get tired. Yeah, our depth in some areas is looking good. I just don't think in other areas it is. Roy Park's in here. Big up, Roy. He said, will Frank let Xavi start at the 10 instead of left wing? Give Odebear a shot at left wing. This is what I agree with. This is what I want to see, Frank. I want to see Odebear on the left because I think at times last season he showed sparks under Ange that he was a decent player. I'd give him a shot on the left because Tell's had his shot, hasn't he? Odebear really hasn't had a fair run out yet. I'd give Odebear the chance and I'd really move Xavi into the 10. Kudus out on the right, and then I'd probably play Richarlison to start with the vision of putting Kolo Muani on. That's what I'd do personally. But we'll get into that in a minute. Forgot Xavi. Alan, how did you forget Xavi Simons? Anyway, guys, there's 100 and something of you, 105 of you across Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, guys. If you're watching on Twitter, there's loads of you on Twitter. Please do, or X as it's called, please do come over to the YouTube channel, guys. That would be most appreciated. And if you're sitting on YouTube right now and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please hit the like button and turn on the notification bells, guys. There's only 16 likes on the stream so far. That is absolutely shocking from you. Where's the like game gone? The game's gone. But jokes aside, Frank, we're going to discuss another potential lineup that we could see happen tomorrow. And then, guys, in a minute, hold fire. Get your thumbs and fingers ready. We're going to be talking score predictions. And I want to do a little league, actually. I've been thinking about this, Frank. I haven't even told you about this. I want to do a league with you guys come in for the previews, and whoever gets it right, we make like a little league table. It's probably a bit of admin work for me, but I'm happy to do it. So, guys, if you want to do like a little predictions league, Frank, you've got like a genius idea. I can see. Brilliant. But if you want to do a predictions league, put a 1 in the chat now in the live chat. If you want to do like a little mini league, maybe we can have a prize for the winner at the end, something like that. Frank, did you say were you going to have an idea on this? Or
I was going to say there's an app that you can do it on.
No.
I think it's called Super Brew. I'll have a look later on. I remember using it a couple of years ago.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe we'll have to set something up. But look, loads of people already interested. To be fair, 2 of them are playing. He's loving it. Sorry. One more. We need to show much more energy than we did on Tuesday night. If we press that Brighton back line, they definitely have cracks. I personally prefer to see Udogie and Spence start tomorrow for solidity. Do you agree there?
Yeah, I get the point. I do get the point. It wouldn't surprise me if they did that, to be honest. That wouldn't shock me at all. I think Porro was decent the other day. I think against Matoma, he worries me a little bit. So I think it would make sense if that was the case.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. I want to see Udogie tomorrow. I think he deserves more of a run out. Now he's back from injury, and I think giving Spence a rest is sensible. But then again, Spence will get a rest midweek because I doubt he'll play against Doncaster. But one more comment, and then I'm going to get into the next lineup. Peter's got 2-1 Tottenham. Okay, guys, start putting in your score prediction. And we'll have to set up that league next week, or maybe I'll go back and watch the video and see who got it right, and we'll give you a shout out next week. We read that one. Sorry, what was the one I was going to do? I'd say get Palhinha, Bergvall, and Xavi on. We get the forward movement we badly missed with Bentancur and Sarr in the Bournemouth game, and Palhinha can anchor. And Blaine's going for a 2-0 Spurs win, another clean sheet. That would be absolutely beautiful, wouldn't it? Absolutely beautiful. James has gone for a 2-1 away win, and Peter's gone for a 2-1 away win. A lot of 2-1 away wins. Frank, I'm going to get your score predictions in a minute, but let's quickly go through the other lineup. Frank, I know you wanted to identify a couple of potential changes that we could do.
Yeah, this is what I think will happen. This is my hunch. I think Udogie comes in. I think he'll start. I wouldn't shock me actually if Spence played. I'm a little bit unsure on the right, but I've gone Porro, but it wouldn't surprise me. I think these two will start in midfield because that's good cover, and so I think that will give him freedom to play in the 10, Xavi Simons, which is in itself good. I don't know why he's number 20, which in itself is good. And then I think Johnson will come back in. He hasn't played much recently. Rightly or wrongly, I'm sure people have their opinions on that, but he hasn't played a lot of late. But I think Johnson will start. I think it's the sort of game that suits him. They're going to play quite high up, Brighton. They play this high line, and I think Kudus, Tell, and Johnson running onto balls from Xavi Simons, I think could work. I don't think he'll go Richarlison. He might go Richarlison based on the fact that he won't need him on Wednesday night. He might use Tell on Wednesday night, but my hunch is that he might leave Richarlison out again and go back for Matisse Tell. I thought I had a pretty decent game actually last week against West Ham. Kudus, I think he'll have to be run into the ground for sort of 75 minutes and then we'll need a rest because he's played 90 minutes every week so far. And I'm sure it's probably taken its toll. I think the rest is probably pretty self-explanatory. That Simons, I think, will start. Paulinho, Bentancur, Van de Ven, Romero, Vicario. That spine is probably set, I think. But other than that, I think Johnson and Tell will both start, and Udogie. That's my hunch. I think Johnson's the one tomorrow that might have quite a good game, I think.
Controversial. Brennan Johnson on the left tomorrow, guys. Yes or no? Do you agree with Frank? Do you think that will be the potential lineup? Do you think Tell will start up front over Richie? And I guess the other one to highlight is, do you think it'll be a Paulinho and Bentancur midfield, and will Sarr and Bergvall drop to the bench for this one? Peter saying interesting lineup. I have my reservations, Frank. I don't think this is what he'll do. I think I could see maybe Johnson starting because he hasn't started a game for a while, and I can see maybe a Paulinho and Bentancur midfield. But I think Udogie will start on the left, but I don't think Tell will play. I don't think Tell will start, and I don't think I think one of Sarr or Bergvall will play. I think, but I could be wrong as well.
I just think with Tell, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Is kind of my thing. And I thought Richarlison was really poor on Tuesday night, and I'm not going to have a go at him, but I thought he was very poor. Kolo Muani looked miles off it. Again, that will come naturally, but fitness-wise, he looked miles off it. So he's not in the conversation for me yet. Obviously, sure. Solanke's not there. So between those two, I think he'll stick with him for now. But then, as I say, it wouldn't shock me if he doesn't start and then he starts on Wednesday night against Doncaster. I think that's possibly maybe more likely, but I can see Tell starting tomorrow.
Sure. Okay. Interesting stuff. I'm going to quickly do a head-to-head records preview for you guys as well, because Blaine very kindly listed out the sort of the wins and the losses. While I'm doing that, guys, get your score predictions in. I can see 7 or 8 of you have put it in. I'm going to get the score predictions up in a minute. We'll start doing the mini league. I'll figure out a way of doing it. So make sure you're smashing that in the comments. And guys, while you're going over to the comments, please do make sure you're doing those 3 magical things, which is hitting the like button, turning on the notification bell, and subscribing if you're new. I know a lot of you watch on repeat as well, which I massively appreciate all the comments that are going on that. And I always make sure I reply to every single one. So in terms of the head-to-heads, Frank, let me just share my screen very quickly. Am I going to watch the under-21s? I'll probably definitely keep an eye on it, 100% keep an eye on it. It's always interesting to see how they get on, of course. 1 second, sorry. Window, Chrome tab. Here we go. Hopefully you guys can see my screen now. In terms of the head-to-heads, it's been pretty grim at Brighton, I'm going to be honest. So we go back to sort of when they came into the Premier League, which was in 2017. We beat them at home 2-0. But then in terms of the away matches at Brighton, a 1-1 in the first one. Then it was we won 2-1 away. But then we have had some stinkers.
I cannot remember that 2-1 win away for the life of me.
Well, go back to that in a minute. 3-0. I think that was the Aaron Connolly game. That one there. Yeah. Then there was a 1-0 for Brighton after COVID, or probably during COVID, actually. Then there was a 2-0 away win. I'm pretty sure that was the Harry Kane kick the Coke bottle one. Oh, I don't want to share all these sponsors. Hang on a minute. How do I get out of this? That's so annoying they do that. So annoying. And then, as you remember last season, it was an absolute stinker at home. We lost 4-1 to them. But then we also had that absolute shocker 3-2 when we were 2-0 up at halftime, and then we lost 3-2. And then also they beat us 4-2. So it's not been a happy hunting ground, has it, Frank?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, the only thing I would say about certainly the home one last year is that was when they were all. I think half the players were still completely drunk, to be honest. After that parade on the Friday.
That's right.
But the away one last year was a disaster. Like being 2-0 at half time, it could have been 3 or 4 as well. We were so in control. Even Timo Werner was playing well, and then that. I mean, there was just a 15-minute spell in that second half where they didn't. That's the start of the second half like that. And Thomas Frank will be good at things like this. That's when you've got to be clever, right? You've got to slow the game down, like they did the other day when they went 1-0 up against West Ham. They were brilliant. They slowed it down. They kept it calm. The red card then happened, and then they were so professional. And there was such a lack of professionalism so often last year from the previous 2 years under Ange, that just stupid things that we were doing and things that we were shooting ourselves in the foot. And we didn't. We had 15, 20 mental minutes, and next one they were 3-2 up. And from then on, I think Mikey Moore had a chance. I think Udogie had a chance. Other than that, we were pretty poor, like really poor that second half, I should say.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Conscious of time, guys. Get your score predictions in the chat. I'm going to go through them now, and then I'm going to ask Frank. So going back in the chat, Peter said 2-1 Spurs. Blaine went 2-0 Spurs. James went 2-1 Spurs. Mirage went 1-0 Spurs. C-Max 3-0 to us. That would be a hell of a scoreline at the Amex. And guys, if there's any more, please pop them in. Frank, I'm going to go over to you after I've read this comment. It says, also, can we get an opinion on Ange at Forest? I don't think he has the quality of player there for his style of play. We're not going to go on about Ange and Forest now because we'll be here for about an hour. But that Swansea game was an absolute stinker from him. And it's been an interesting start. Let's be honest. Frank, what's your score predictions for the game tomorrow?
I think the clean sheet run ends. I think we concede, but I think we're going to play really well. 4-1 Tottenham. I'm positive. I'm seriously positive.
4-1.
Yeah.
No.
I'm positive because I think you can get at Brighton. I think Brighton can see goals, and I think we will be professional about it. But I think it could be a Xavi Simons, Brian Johnson day tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it.
4-1. Where's that come from? I thought you were going to say like 2. When was the last time Brighton lost 4-1 at home?
I don't know. But tomorrow, the past doesn't always set up the future, does it? Whatever that quote was. I'm backing it. Let me have a look. Last time they lost 4-1 at home.
I'm baffled. I mean, we lost 4-1 at home to them in
exactly,
at the end of last season, like you said. Hey Dave's gone for a great name. Hey Dave, how are you doing? It says 2-0 Spurs. Evening lads. Says Adam, big up Adam. 2-0 Tottenham. They ain't the team they have been in previous seasons, but we always struggle there. Absolutely. and 4-1, and I'll go on a holiday. Says
Get the
Mariah. You
flights
can take
booked.
Frank with you because there's no way we're winning 4-1 tomorrow. I'm gonna honestly, that is an absolute. I mean, I like the positivity, Frank. I'm not gonna knock that, but that is an absolute. That's a mad prediction, honestly. Big up, Chipek. Hope you're well, mate. He says leaving the Amex with a point, I'd be happy with. Bogey team. Do you know what? On the quiet, I would, if we drew the game, maybe after we started losing, I would honestly take a 1-0 as well. I know that's really negative. Hopefully we get like a win, but in my opinion, I think it's going to be 2-1 to Spurs. I agree with a lot of people in the chat, the likes of James, the likes of Peter. I think it will only score 2 goals. I think it'll be 2-1. I think we'll probably go 1-0 up, then go 1-0, then win it 2-1. But let's see, guys. I'm going to start that league because you guys all wanted to see that. So we'll do a little table for the next preview. It'll be interesting. So, guys, if you are watching on repeat or you haven't put your score prediction in, put it in now if you want to join the league because we'll start doing that. Frank's gone for a 4-1. I think if you get a correct score line, we'll give you 5 points. And if you get a correct result, we'll give you 2 points or something like that. So make sure you're putting in your score predictions, guys. That is about time for that's about all we have time for today, guys. Please do me massive favor, 3 massive favors, and smash the like button before you come off the stream. Turn on those notification bells because we're going to go live after the game tomorrow and give our instant match reaction. And of course, subscribe if you are new to the channel. We are on the march to 5,000 subscribers now, so that would be greatly appreciated. And the final thing that I'd like you to all go and do, please, is go and subscribe to Frank's channel. He is only 3 subscribers away from 300 now, I believe. So I've just put his channel in the live chat 4 times. Please go and click on that before you come off this video and smash the subscribe on Frank's channel. That would be greatly appreciated. And finally, Sam saying, you don't get it. I witnessed Lloris with a broken arm at row 8 and a ball almost smashing my face from more PTSD. I know it's not been happy there, mate. It's not been great. But guys, as I said, please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you're new. Please turn the notification bell on. Subscribe to Frank's channel down below. He's doing a lot of content at the moment. And we'll see you again very soon after the game tomorrow to give our instant match reactions. And remember, it'll be 2-1. And remember, come on, you Spurs! Come on.